Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. Anybody there? Oh, we need to. Shoot, we gotta change stations. Testing, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you?
Test, test, test. 1, 2. Test, test, tests.
Test, test, test. Can you hear me?
Are you there? Somebody, Tiffany, Evie.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Who was backing us
Hello,
up?
hello, hello. Test, test, test. I'm talking into the tie line mic. Test, test, test. Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me? Hello, hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go, yes. I had forgotten to switch stations on this tie line. I remember Ron said something about something else and it just triggered my head. I was like, oh, crap. So I wouldn't even, because we were on, we were usually on cool. I have to change this code over to KEJL, so. But eventually, I'm sure we'd have got a hold of you. Didn't want to know where you were and realized we were on the wrong station. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Can't hear myself too well. Test, 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 test. That dropped my volume. I can't hear myself as well. What did you test? I can't hear myself. I mean, it was real loud before. Let me hear what that. Test, 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 test. Test. There we go. Yeah, that volume needs to be right there. They're just, they got about a minute left in this JV game, so I don't know how much time they're going to put on the warm-up clock for the next game. This one might go to overtime too. It's getting close. Can you still hear me? Are you there, Evie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. That game last night, Ron was saying we had about maybe 50 hits. How many hits was it during the game? 40, 50? It was about 40 hits and went over 200 overnight.
That's cool.
Did they tell you that the Eunice games are going to be canceled for a while, them boys?
Yeah, because something about COVID.
Yeah, it's going to be about 10 days too. So I don't know how they're going to. The girls, I think the girls still get to play. So you might have one. Whoever has those games will probably have one game if it's a doubleheader instead of two.
Brian was talking about how the NMAA is supposed to have a meeting with the governor to see if we can even do sports because of the.
Well, if he's talking about the Monday meeting, that's not what it is because I saw the agenda today. It doesn't have anything about that on it. That's an NMAA meeting. It's just the board. It's not the governor. Governor could stop his sports at any time, though. She could do it immediately if she wants to. But, yeah, the meeting, it talks about COVID, but that's only one thing they're discussing, and it's not about closing. I was talking to him about the meeting. That's probably what he's referring to. Because we didn't know the other day. We didn't know for sure what the meeting was about yet, and we were speculating it was going to be about closing, but not yet, at least.
I hope not.
So, which one of you guys was doing Eunice?
Eunice has been on stream.
What's that?
Eunice and Tatum has been on stream.
Oh, that's right. What? I thought I saw KPZA before they were on for radio too. Weren't
That
they?
was for football.
Oh, so they're not even doing radio for basketball?
No, it's on stream.
Oh, no wonder. So you guys weren't having to back that up at all then, huh?
No, we're just doing Hobbs and Lovington on radio.
Okay. Was he paying you to monitor on stream stuff too?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that, Ron. I guess Eunice didn't even have radio for the. Oh, I thought they were doing KPZA for everything. Huh? Not basketball? Oh. I thought they'd be make some money off of that. For Eunice? Eunice tends to be the best sponsorship list. Well, I know that, yeah. I better get off the air. I'm on the live stream right now. If we could start in 5 minutes, Evie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Playing intro now. 30. 15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, everyone, to Portales, New Mexico. It's time for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball live on the Eagle 100.5, the 100.5 app, HobbsAmerica.com, and live on video on YouTube. Ty Friend here with you, Ron Gunter as well. Evie Stuber back at the station tonight as the Hobbs Lady Eagles bring their 5-0 record to Portales to take on the Lady Rams, who sit at 4-0. 2-0 in their district. It should be an exciting battle. Probably one of the best tests this season for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Of course, they're coming back-to-back. A game last night at Tasker Arena where they thumped on Clovis 64-38. The Lady Eagles outscoring the Lady Cats 24-2 in the first quarter and 16-4 in the second. Hobbs was up 40-6 at halftime and continued to roll in that contest. Wisdom Anthony, a big game, 23 points, had 6 3-pointers, and that was matching her career best from last year, ironically, against the same Clovis squad. So definitely knows how to shoot from the outside, and when it comes to Tasker and against the Lady Cats. In fact, that was just one shy of the school record set back in 2006 with Leah Pritchard, a girl that I used to know real well. Got a chance to coach her back in 7th grade. I don't take credit for her, but I will say that she was a very fine player back then as well. But, again, moving up the charts, Wisdom Anthony, she's at 106 3-pointers so far in her career. Currently third on the all-time list. A couple other girls just ahead of her, Kiara Knight with 111 3-pointers, so she is 5 behind her. And Selena Gomez top of the list at 129. Thanks to Mr. Farmer there at the Hobbs News Sun, keeping me updated on some of those cool stats there for Miss Wisdom Anthony. So 23 last night, as I mentioned. Another double-digit score in Elise Turbiatis. She had 14. And Jemiah Clay with 10 points as well. So 3 get double digits. Anaya Joseph had 8. Brett Clay with 5. And Brent Hargrove with 2. The leading scorers for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Again, big-time shooting on the outside for Hobbs. 9 3-pointers. We mentioned 6 by Anthony. Jemiah Clay added 2. And the other Clay, Brett Clay, she had a 3-point shot as well. And definitely something that's one to put in your record books there. That many shots going in for the Lady Eagles on threes. In the years past, that's been kind of a off and on type of situation depending on the shooter, but never before. They've really got everybody hitting the lights out, especially those 6 from Wisdom Anthony. Rebounding situation also was in the hands of the Hobbs Lady Eagles, out-rebounding Clovis 28-18. Joseph with 8 boards, Turbiatis 6, and the Clays combined for 4 apiece, 8 total with those two, so everybody getting involved. Hobbs had 12 steals in the ball game. Anthony with 5, Turbiatis with 4. And again, Turbiatis is a post player, so that's pretty devastating against a team when you can get steals at that post position. So those are some of the numbers in that ball game, all W's when it comes to the victory against the Clovis Lady Cats. District game, of course, 2-0 in district, but now they're going to be playing outside the district, one of the toughest teams year after year, the Portales Rams, and they, of course, are in the 4A division. They come in with that 4-0 record. Now, they played a couple of tough teams. Artesia, for example, they got the victory over them, 44-30. That was a 14-point win. One of their biggest comebacks of the season was against Goddard. The Lady Rockets were actually up on Portales, 22-15 at the half. But Portales outscored Goddard 36-21 in the second half by going 15-8 in the third and 21-13 in the fourth to get to victory. Goddard had 20 turnovers in that game because of Portales' press defense. Goddard did manage to score 5 3-pointers, though, so maybe that's a good sign for Hobbs with their great shooting last night. And good defense for Portales in that win as they got 7 steals against the Goddard Rockets and then got the win 51-43. They also played Clovis. They just down the road here, of course. They defeated the Clovis Lady Cats by 15 points, 52-37. Once again, the press defense going on all cylinders. Terrace Rippey, the top scorer for Portales in that one. She had 18 points. You definitely don't want to put her on the free throw line. She was perfect against Clovis, 8 for 8. Riley Schillings added 9 points for the Rams in that one with 3 3-pointers. Got to get a hand in her face. And Kenzie Davis finished up with 9 as well. First quarter was the big difference for Portales. They outscored Clovis 18-6. Both teams had 7 points in the third, and Portales got the final quarter 19-15. The best part about Portales' defense, they held the top scorer for Clovis and also the top rebounder to just 7 points. That was Hannah Nussbaumer. That's a girl that the Lady Eagles played last night at Task Arena. So nobody in double digits for Clovis. Again, a 5A team getting defeated by the Portales 4A squad. Last year, Portales was lost in the semifinals. They were the number 3 seed in the 4A. Lost to number 2 Kirtland Central 58-48 and kicked off to put their season away. Did not get to the championship game. Last year they beat Clovis by 9, lost to Carlsbad by 5. A couple of teams the Hobbs Lady Eagles have to deal with in district. Last year they only had 1 senior on the roster, and they had 9 sophomores as well, so they were top heavy in that category. But this year those sophomores moved up as juniors, so now they have 8 juniors, 2 seniors, and 2 freshmen on the roster. The record last year, 22-8 and 5-1 in district. So that kind of gets you set up for the opponent tonight. The Hobbs Lady Eagles, of course, really getting some great scoring so far this season. In fact, Wisdom Anthony currently has 88 points on the season through 5 games. Big-time numbers for her. That is averaging about 19 points a contest for her, or actually, 17.6, getting close to 18 points a ball game. Elise Turbiatis second on the team in scoring at 14.4. She's had a high of 20 points in that third game of the season. Anthony has had games of 25, 23, 19, and 15, the ones that she's had double digits in. Her low scoring was 6 against Silver, and I don't know if we kind of reiterated that throughout that game. That basket was actually lower than what it should have been officially. They were at a middle school gym. Of course, middle schools aren't supposed to be playing on lower baskets anyway, but for some reason that one was. A couple of the Hobbs Lady Eagles were touching the rim in warm-ups in that ball game, but still, that was her only blemish, and she really couldn't get her shot down. She told Coach, something's wrong here. They finally figured out it was the lower rims. A couple other girls that are really doing well for Hobbs in terms of scoring. That includes Anaya Joseph. She's averaging close to 10 points a game, just over 9. And that's pretty much the top scorers of the season so far for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Hobbs as a team is shooting 53% from the charity stripe. We're about 3 minutes away to start this ball game as the Hobbs Lady Eagles come in with a 5-0 record to take on the 4-0 Portales Rams. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Get ready for the first action here. Stay with us on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and on YouTube.
You're clear. One minute. $30. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back live here in Port Tallis, Ty Friend, Ron Gunter, Evie Stuber back at the station as the Hobbs Lady Eagles get ready to take on Port Tallis. Hobbs will be wearing the black uniforms with the gold numbers, white trim, and Port Tallis the home white jerseys and the red numbers in black trim. They're getting ready for the national anthem. We'll take another 60-second break live here on the Eagle 100.5.
You're clear.
Add another 30 to that, please.
Got it. $30. $15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
As you can hear, the national anthem just wrapping up here in Port Tallis. Ty Friend along with Ron Gunter and Evie Stuber on this one as the Hobbs Lady Eagles take on Port Tallis. We're getting ready for the starting lineup, so we'll get those for you here as well. Port Tallis will start number 3, Terrace Rippey. Number 10, Riley Schillings. Number 11, Kylie Payton. Number 12, Tegan Faust. And number 24, Kinsey Davis. For your Hobbs Lady Eagles, Wisdom Anthony, as we mentioned, averaging 17.6 a ball game. Number 12, Jemiah Clay at just over 3 points a contest. Elise Turbiatis with 14.4 points a game. We've got a bunch of Clays on the court. Brett Clay will also be starting tonight. She is 4.0 in terms of points. And Anaya Joseph averaging 9 points a game. Those are your 5 for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Again, Hobbs at 5-0 on the season, 2-0 in district, and Port Tallis is 4-0 overall and 2-0 in their district. Of course, they'll be playing the likes of Artesia and Lovington in the district matchups along with Goddard. These two teams haven't played for a while, too. It's been since 2017. It was at a Port Tallis tournament. That year, Hobbs was 29-2. And both teams, Hobbs and Port Tallis, were upset in the semifinals. Hobbs was the number 1 seed that year, lost to La Cueva, the number 5 seed in the semis. And Port Tallis actually wasn't an upset for them. They lost to number 1 Hope Christian in the semis. That year, the Hobbs Lady Eagles beat Port Tallis 56-35. That was a 21-point victory. But, of course, that was 4 years ago, so no players from that squad are on this one, obviously. So fresh numbers and people and everybody else out there. As they're getting the starting announcements now for the Port Tallis Rams, we'd like to thank our sponsors of the Hobbs Lady Eagles on the Eagle 100.5, including TDS, Lee County State Bank, A-Tech Air Conditioning, Thriftway Grocery, Gateway Insurance Financial, Forest Tire, Lasco Construction, Devon Energy, Bobby Shaw Realty, First American Bank, and Robinson and Associates. And we're getting ready for the battle here. There will not be a jump ball due to COVID restrictions. It'll be a half-court inbound for the Lady Eagles, again wearing their black uniforms. And they are the first team on the court. We've got 3 blue face masks and 2 black. Hobbs already getting set up in their offensive set here. Of course, the Lady Eagles, that big win over Clovis last night. The boys getting a big win on the road. Michael Mackey getting that shot over the front of the rim right before the buzzer sounded, right in the thick of the paint, as Eagles got their record up to 1-1 in district. Well, more action coming up on Tuesday. Brian Coltrane will be back with the Lady Eagles at Carlsbad, and the boys will be at home at Task Arena. Hobbs will have the first inbound. Has coming across the timeline of Jemiah Clay. Comes to the left side of the circle. Sends it down left corner. 3 on the way for Anthony. An air ball. And we got a rebound underneath. A nice pickup for the Lady Eagles. An underhand down to the left block, and missing the tip shot for Hobbs was Elise Turbiatis. Portales gets it into the front court. Shot in the paint off the back of the rim. No good. And tipped around. We got bodies crashing underneath. As missing the shot was Davis. Rebound on the left elbow, shot again, this time coming off the hands of Terrace Rippey. It doesn't go. Trying for a tip-up for Kylie Payton. It's off the mark as well. And a long rebound for the Lady Eagles, taken down by Wisdom Anthony. Sends it into the front court. Pass to the free throw line now, Brett Clay, as she'll back it out to the top of the arc. Sends it to the right wing to Jemiah Clay. Touch pass down to the right corner. Dribbling up the far sideline is Brett Clay. So we're going to have to keep track of those first names, Jemiah and Brett. To Jemiah at the top of the circle. Gives behind her to Anthony. Top of the arc, driving the right side of the paint. Goes to the rack, double clutch. Misses off the bottom of the backboard. Ball loose on the far sideline and picked up by Brett Clay, her first board. Returns deep to Jemiah Clay. Top of the circle. Sends it right to Wisdom Anthony. Dumps it in the middle of the paint to Elise Turbiatis. Fires it down low. Shot on the way. Actually, that was from Joseph to Turbiatis. Misses off the back of the rim. And the rebound for Portales underneath by Payton. Rams will try to send it ahead. Getting in the passing lane on the baseline right side was Turbiatis to knock it out of bounds. And right now, Coach Carpenter's going to call a quick timeout. And we've just gone about a minute and a half. He doesn't like the pace at this point of the offensive setup and calls that timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. No score on the board so far. Hobbs and Portales live here in Portales, New Mexico. We'll be back in half a minute.
You're clear. Ten. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back to Portales. Rams after a Hobbs Lady Eagle timeout. Their ball in the left wing. Pass to Terrace Rippey. She tries to send it down to Kaylee Payton in the left corner, and it's fumbled out of her hands, out of bounds for the first Rams turnover. Still scoreless, first quarter action, 6:20 left. So Lady Eagles going to be getting back to district on Tuesday on the road at Carlsbad with that 2-0 record. The inbound of the backcourt to Wisdom Anthony. Sends it across the timeline. Picked up by Turbiatis. Drives the left side of the pike. Goes up strong with a high glass shot. No good off the back of the iron. And pulled down by Riley Schillings for Portales. Sends it ahead to Payton. Middle of the lane. Turns a little hook shot off the front of the iron. No good. Long rebound for Wisdom Anthony. Her second. Drives hard into the front court. Goes backdoor to Turbiatis. Misses a little push shot underneath the hoop. And coming down with it for Portales is Kinsey Davis. Her second rebound. Across the timeline to Rippey on the right wing. Hobbs with the matchup 2-3 zone. Send it off to the left wing to Faust. To the free throw line. Shot wide open for Davis off the back of the rim. And ripped down on the left elbow for the Lady Eagles by Joseph, her first board. Gets it behind to her guard, Anthony. Brings it across one-on-one as she takes on Faust. Down the paint. Scoop shot with a crossover move from right to left. Underneath the hoop is fouled going up. Ball came off the iron, but she'll get chances for free throws here. And that foul will be against Kinsey Davis, her first team foul. And on the line will be Wisdom Anthony. First chance for points for anybody in the game so far, and she makes her first free throw. Wisdom shooting 52% this season as she makes her 10th free throw. She was 9 of 17 coming in. We mentioned averaging 17.6 points a contest. Second shot, a high rainbow free throw, in and out, no good. Chased down, though, on the left elbow for the Lady Eagles by Jemiah Clay. Returns it to Anthony on the left side. Cross court right. Over to Bryn Hargrove, who checked in during the timeout. Up top to Anthony. She'll back it out near the timeline. Setting up the offensive play from Coach Carpenter. Unloads to Clay. Jemiah on the left wing. Up top to Brett Clay. Over the right side. Driving hard is Wisdom Anthony. Pops a shot from the right block. No good. Put up by Anaya Joseph on the left glass. Can't get it to drop. It rolls out into the near sideline. Last touch by Portales. off the hands of Terrace Rippey. So Hobbs will have it on the near sideline as the sub returns for the Lady Eagles. Elise Turbiatis comes in for Hargrove. Clay gets it in left block to Turbiatis, spins in the paint, turnaround jumper, and swishes it over 2 defenders. Beautiful body control in the air that time, and a follow through as Turbiatis gets her first points. 3-0 Hobbs. 4:48 left here in the first quarter. Tegan Faust with the basketball, gives it off left wing to Rippey. Bounce pass to the free throw line to Davis. Returns up top to Faust, swings it to the right side, giving a pass one defender, Schillings. Tries to do a fadeaway on the right baseline, but bodying her up for Hobbs was Anaya Joseph. That'll be her first team foul. And that will be a shooting foul as well. Riley Schillings will get her first attempts at free throws in this game. Hobbs still holding on to a 3-0 lead thanks to a bucket for Turbiatis and 1 for 2 free throw shooting of Wisdom Anthony. First free throw is a brick off the front of the rim for Schillings. Ready for that second shot now. High one. It's up and good right through the net. 1 for 2 is Schillings. 3-1 Hobbs by 2. Ball comes into Anthony in the backcourt. A 1-1-3 press trap for the Rams. Crossover move. Anthony in the front court comes down the lane with the runner and swishes it through the net. Fingertip control of that shot. She's got 3 points. And a steal on the inbound for Jemiah Clay. That'll be turnover number 2 for Portales. Gets it up top to Anthony. Swings it to the left side to Brett Clay. Brett will take a few dribbles laterally on the near sideline. Up near midcourt and gives it off to Anthony. Sends it to the right side to Jemiah Clay. She'll hold it for a second, guarded by Schillings, giving her a little cushion over there on that far side. Dangerous throw to the timeline to Anthony. Almost went in the backcourt, and Coach Carpenter's not happy about the offensive set. Players out of their position. He calls another timeout. He's burned 2 here in the first quarter. It's Hobbs 5, Portales 1. We're coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagles Network.
You're clear. Three, two, one, go.
After the Hobbs Lady Eagles timeout, another adjustment timeout for Coach Carpenter, trying to get his team's offense in check. Bad inbound on the far sideline. It's taken away momentarily by Tegan Faust. Couldn't get the grab on it, though, as it goes out in the backcourt for Hobbs. They'll have to take it in again. A little bit out of sync in the offensive set so far. Inbound to the backcourt to Turbiatis. You bring it across untouched into the front court. Stop and go, top of the arc. Gets a screen up top from Joseph. Shot from the right block on the run, no good. Loose underneath and picked up for the Lady Rams by Terrace Rippey, her second board. Dribbles down the middle of the lane. Lost the dribble off her foot. Picked up at the free throw line for Davis. Her shot off the back of the rim. Loose on the left corner, and chasing it down is Davis, getting her own rebound. Cross court right to Rippey to the right baseline. They're going to call the body foul on Wisdom Anthony. That's her first, second team foul. Kinsey Davis already with 3 rebounds for Portales, really coming to the ball quickly like a magnet. On that baseline on the left side now is Riley Schillings. Coach Frazee was going to get in a sub, but he pulled her back in the last second. Inbound to the right block, turnaround jumper off the back of the iron for Rippey. Underneath the hoop for the Lady Eagles, off the dribble and the rebound is Elise Turbiatis. Gives it off to Anthony in the backcourt. Comes across the stripe against Tegan Faust. Over the right wing to Jemiah Clay. To the right elbow to Turbiatis. Goes backdoor to Anthony. Leans and shoots. Misses off the side of the iron. And pulled down underneath. A lot of rebounding for Portales. That's the 4th for Davis. Outlet to the timeline. Schillings will bring it across with a bounce pass right wing to Faust. To the free throw line to Rippey on the pivot. Pass deflected. Picked up, though, by Schillings on the left wing. Fires up a 3. In and out, no good. And a big rip underneath the hoop by Anaya Joseph. That's her 3rd rebound. They'll send it ahead to Turbiatis. Left side of the glass. Goes to the rack with a lefty layup. No good. Put back up over the front of the rim, but fouled. Brett Clay. Ball does not go in the iron, but she gets her 2nd rebound and a chance at free throws, too. Portales foul on Riley Schillings. That'll be her first, 2nd team foul. Both teams have 2. And that will put on the line. For the Lady Eagles, Brett Clay, her first shot bouncing around the rim and barely comes off the front. Lady Eagles are now 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. They came in at 53%. Brett, for the season, that was her first free throw. Has not shot before this. Second shot is up, and it's good. So Brett Clay, 1 of 2 from the line. Lady Eagles up now 6-1. Their biggest lead, 5, here in the first quarter with 2:43 remaining. Hobbs going to go with the 2-2-1. Trap press. Inbound to the deep left corner. To Madison Blakely, who just checked in. Sends it across the top into Schillings. Dumps it to the right wing to Davis. Pass is deflected a couple of times towards midcourt. Picked up by Schilling. Gets some tough pressure by Jemiah Clay. Dribbles to the right wing. A wraparound pass. Boy, these refs are calling it real tight now. Right in front of Coach Carpenter. They call a reach foul. That'll be charged to Jemiah Clay, her first, and the third team foul. Inbounding right in front of Coach is Riley Schillings on the near sideline front court. Dumps it in to Rippey on the right wing. Uses up her dribble. Fires a pass up top to Blakely. A 3 on the way and swishes it. Trying to get out there is Jemiah Clay. Well, that goes through the hoop. Madison Blakely, first tray of the ball game for either team. It's a 6-4 contest. Hobbs by 2. Slowing the ball up as she comes across for the Lady Eagles, Wisdom Anthony. Over to Jemiah Clay on the right wings. Comes up top and underhands it to Bryn Hargrove. Gives it back to the top of the arc to Anthony. Crossover move, spins at the free throw line, and she is stripped. Going to the other end of the court, dribbling behind her back is Madison Blakely after the first Lady Eagle turnover. And then there's a tie-up as Jemiah Clay tries to come up and grab the ball. Hargrove comes over as well to get the tie-up on the Portales player, Kylie Payton. Arrow will go back to Portales. Hobbs still up by 2 with 1:51 left first quarter. Into the front court, top of the circle is Blakely. Sends it left to Schillings. Her 3 is good as well. She puts it right through the threads. Back-to-back trays for Portales. Schillings has 4. Hobbs down by 1, 7-6. Their only trail of the game. At the other end, a pass down to Nia Joseph, right block. Sends it to the left wing to Clay. Touch pass left elbow is Turbiatis. Kicks it back to Clay in the left corner. Her 3 off the side of the rim, and it stays lodged there. And that will go to an alternating possession because that is a stuck ball at this point. If you're watching on YouTube, you should see that one being knocked down by the official. So that was a 3 attempt by Jemiah Clay, and now the sub for her is coming in is Brett Clay. Hobbs ball on the right baseline, inbounding will be Wisdom Anthony with 1:23 left, down by 1 here in the first. Waiting for somebody to come help. Finally doing that with the jump stop is Joseph left corner. Gives it to Anthony in the left corner. Throws up a 3, in and out, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound, Kylie Payton, her second board. Gives it off to the guard. Coming across the timeline, Blakely gets a 2-3 zone on her for Hobbs. Dish to Schillings on the left wing. Nice D by Brett Clay to take her all the way to half court. Unloads to Blakely on the near side in front of the Hobbs bench. Pass off to right wing to Rippey. Bounce it down the right baseline to Davis. Cross court left to Schillings on the wing. Drives the middle of the paint. Hook shot is rejected in midair by Ania Joseph, but pulled down on the right elbow by Madison Blakely. Sends it right to Rippey on the perimeter. Up top to Blakely. Back over to left side to Schillings. A 3 on the way. This one out the front of the rim. A battle for the Lady Eagles at the free throw line to rip it down, and unfortunately a travel. It looked like for Hobbs, going up high was Elise Turbiatis. Ripped it away from Joseph, but then stumbled ahead. Her second rebound, but the second turnover for the Lady Eagles. Off the travel. Portales holding on to a 7-6 lead. Their ball on the right base, inbounding is Schillings, and we got a whistle off ball. And it looks like this is going to be against Portales on a push-off. And they'll charge that one to Adriana Garcia, her first, third team foul. Both teams have 3 so far with 38 seconds left in the opening quarter. Portales by 1. Ball comes into Anthony in the backcourt. She won't pick up the D till the timeline. Finally stepping out is Blakely. Double team now. Losing the ball momentarily as Anthony recovers at the timeline. Sends it across to the right wing. Dribble to the right elbow. Shot on the way for Clay off the back of the iron. Pulled down for Portales in the middle of the paint by Blakely. She'll take the dribble herself. One hands it down to the other baseline on the left side and overthrows her teammate, Kylie Payton. And that'll be turnover number 3 for Portales. 14 seconds left first quarter. Hobbs up by 1, 7-6. Or down 1, 7-6. The inbound comes to Anthony. Taking her time with 8 seconds. Throws a high one across to Clay on the right wing. Downloader block right to Joseph. Leans and shoots, scores it over the right rim. Her first bucket. Clock down to 1. I don't think Portales will get a shot, and they don't. That will end the first quarter. Kind of a shaky start for the Lady Eagles, but they do regain the lead, 8-7 over Portales. We'll take a 60-second break and come back live on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear. $30. $15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
We start the second quarter here in Portales, as Portales will have the ball to get this going here in the second. 8-7 Hobbs. A steal on the pass down the lane, taken away for Jemiah Clay. That'll be turnover number 4 for Portales. Up ahead to Anthony on the left wing. Drives the lane with the lefty layup and scores uncontested. She leads the Lady Eagles now with 5. 2 apiece for Turbiatis and Joseph, and 1 for Clay. For Portales, it's Schillings with 4, Blakely with 3. Pass to the timeline. Hobbs up 10-7. Coming across is Blakely. Sends a high one over to Schillings on the left wing. Cross court right to Tegan Faust. Gets some tough pressure from Clay now. Bounce pass to the right elbow to Garcia. Turns around and fires up a J off the front of the iron, no good. And pulled down for the Lady Eagles. Ripping it down was Joseph. That's her 4th board. Throws it across the timeline to Anthony. To the free throw to Turbiatis. Turns and fires a J after a one-step dribble. And the ball goes off the rim out of bounds. Last touch by Portales off the hands of Adriana Garcia. Substitution for Portales. Kinsey Davis coming on, as well as Terrace Rippey. Hobbs ball on the right base. They lead 10-7. Their biggest lead was 5 in the first quarter. Hobbs went 2 of 4 from the line, and Portales 1 of 2 in that first. High inbound to the top of the arc to Turbiatis. Gets bounced into, runs over a defender, no call on that one. She got lucky. Falls to the floor and rolls it over to Anthony on the left wing. Keeps her dribble alive, then fires up a WNBA 3 air ball underneath the hoop for a reverse on the right side, off the rim, no good for Joseph. And it's picked up by Portales. Dribbling into the front court is Tegan Faust. Tries to pass to the right wing, but slides her feet first, and the travel. That's the 5th turnover for Portales. Lady Eagles so far with 13 rebounds and 11 for Portales. Eagles up by 3 with 6:40 left here in the second. 10-7 the score. Coming across the timeline, stopping her dribbles, Clay. Gives to Anthony on the left side, up top to Turbiatis. Threading the needle low to the right baseline is Joseph, and she tries to save it, and right back to Portales. That's the 3rd turnover. Picking it up is Faust now in the front court. Over to the right wing to Blakely, spin move. Bounce pass back to the right corner to Faust. Down low to the right block, taken away for the Lady Eagles. Here comes Elise Turbiatis. That's turnover number 6 for Portales. She'll take a shot from the left block, misses out the back of the rim. Put back up for the Lady Eagles by Clay on the scoop. She can't get the drop. Gets another rebound underneath the hoop on a reverse and puts up a shot off the back of the iron. And Portales gets their board finally. With the dribble now coming across after the board was Blakely. Goes down the lane and is reached from behind by the Lady Eagles. That's Jemiah Clay's 2nd personal and the 14th foul. So a couple of rebounds on that last play for the Lady Eagles. Jemiah Clay now with 4 boards. Right behind Joseph, who has 5. Portales basketball on the left base. Inbounding is Blakely. Up top of the arc. Rippey will drive down the right side of the lane with a reverse layup and puts it off the glass for 2. Her first bucket of the ball game. Portales with 3 players in the scorebook so far and 4 for Hobbs. Coming across the timeline is Anthony. Sends the ball to the top of the arc to Joseph. Holds it for a few seconds. Coming to get it. Top of the circle as well as Hargrove. Over to Anthony, right wing. She backs it out, throws up a 3, an air ball. Rebound on the left block for Joseph. That's her 6th. Tries to bounce pass it down the lane. Ricochets picked up by Brett Clay in the left corner. She'll back into her defender. Coming around behind her to get it is Hargrove. We got a whistle underneath the hoop. They're going to call a 3-second violation against Anaya Joseph. That will be a turnover for Hobbs, their 4th. Pressure is going to be applied by the Lady Eagles defense. Inbounding on the baseline for Portales is Davis. Sends it into the far side to Rippey to midcourt. Coming across with the dribble is Blakely, and she'll send it down to the right baseline. Pivoting Davis, gets a double team, kicks it down left corner to Rippey. She'll hold the ball to move the Lady Eagles 2-3 zone. Return back deep to the timeline to Faust. Bounce pass left wing to Rippey. To the free throw line, to Davis, fires up a J. No good off the back of the rim, gets her own rebound. They're going to say she got it because she went over the back. Crashed over the top of Anaya Joseph that time. Portales fans didn't think it was a foul. That will be called against her. That's her second for Davis and the 14th foul. 1 point Lady Eagle lead, 4:48 remaining here in the second. It's 10-9. Coming across the timeline is Anthony with the pass to the far side to Clay. Up top to Joseph, swing it left to Turbiatis. She wanted to see somebody breaking through the paint, but nobody did. But coming behind her to get the handoff is Anthony. Giving her a cushion. The defense of Davis. Pass up top. Backing out now is Brett Clay. Behind her to get the pass. Hargrove top of the circle. Goes back door. Finding Turbiatis and lays it in with two hands on the left side. Beautiful pass from up top from Hargrove. 4 points for Turbiatis. Almost a steal on the inbound is trying to get it as Turbiatis playing like a guard as usual in the backcourt. Knocked it out on the far sideline. But it will go back to Portales. 12-9, Hobbs by 3 with 4:15 left before the half. Inbound to Rippey, dribbles through the pressure, weaving through into the front court. Down the left side of the lane, jump stop, bounce pass right block to Davis. Turns and fires up a shot, an air ball. Pulled down on the far sideline for the Lady Eagles by Brett Clay, her third board. Sends it ahead to Turbiatis left block. And fires a pass almost in the face of her teammate. That was Hargrove in the left corner. Back to the free throw line to Anthony. Her J off the back of the rim and the front as it comes off. And we got a battle for the rebound, a travel. As coming down with the rebound for the Lady Eagles was Joseph, her seventh. But they say she was holding with the partner there. I think her and Brett Clay got tangled up for turnover number 5 on the travel. Still a 3-point lead. A steal on the inbound. Anthony takes it away. Turnover number 7 for Portales. Goes to the rack with a scoop shot left side. Comes off the rim. And pulling it down is Davis for Portales, her 5th board. Sends it ahead to Faust on the left wing. Drives the left elbow. Her shot is blocked. And taken down for the Lady Eagles by Wisdom Anthony. 3-on-2 coming down the lane. Fakes the pass. Puts a scoop over the right rim and scores. Anthony now with 7 points to lead the Lady Eagles scoring. 14-9, matching their biggest lead of the ball game here in the second. Bounce pass in the front court to Faust, left wing. She'll back it out to the timeline. Sends it to the right side to Rippey. Quick one down to the right corner. Holding it a minute is Davis. Thought about a shot. Throws it up top to Rippey. Moving that 2-3 zone. Over to the left side to Blakely. She'll jab step. Looking for some help. Dumps it down left baseline to Payton, but lost the ball. Taken away for the Lady Eagles by Elise Turbiatis. Turnover number 8, and finds a wide open guard at the other end for the layup. Brent Hargrove on the right side, her first bucket. 16-9, the biggest lead is 7. We got a big scrum pile off the inbound in the backcourt of the lane, and a bunch of bodies flopping to the hardwood. There's a jump, and that will be for the Lady Eagles now on the arrow. That will be another turnover for Portales. They've got 9. Hobbs with 5 turnovers so far. Inbound underneath the hoop on the left side. Hargrove will throw it in. Gets it right to the right block to Joseph. Back to the right corner. Hargrove with the fadeaway 3 off the back of the rim. Put back up on the left glass with a push by Turbiatis. She's got 6 points. Had 3 rebounds. Doubling up now on Portales. 18-9, the biggest lead for Hobbs at 9. 2:25 left here in the first half. Long ball of Faust on the near side. Goes through 3 defenders. Gets tripped and falls flat on the floor. And they'll call the trip foul on the Lady Eagles. Looked like she went through 2 defenders' feet that time. But they're going to call the foul on Hobbs. That will be their 5th foul. As they call that one against, looks like Verdania Vicas Buendia was the one they charged with that one, her first. We'll take a quick break. It's 18-9. Hobbs doubling up Portales. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagles Network.
You're clear. $30. 15, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
2:20 left here in the second quarter in Portales as Hobbs leading over the Rams 18-9 after the Rams timeout. Rams are getting in top of the arc to Terrace Rippey, sends a high one down to Schilling, tried to save it, but she steps on the sideline, and that'll be a double-digit turnover for Portales. They've got 10 now. Still a 9-point Lady Eagles lead with 2:10 remaining here in the half. Ball comes across to Verdania Buendia to the near sideline. Cross court right, a dangerous pass. Hargrove has to come back for it and does make the connection. She'll send it back to the timeline to Anthony. Dribbles to the far side with 2 minutes remaining. 18-9 Hobbs. Back to the left she goes. Keeps the dribble going on the left wing. Uses it up. Entry pass to Turbiata's left elbow. Spins a fadeaway from the left block off the dribble. Gets her own rebound. Puts it back up. Can't get it to drop again. And now we got a foul. As I think they're going to get a body foul from behind that time by Buendia. As a rebound coming for Portales by Kylie Payton. That was her third. So Buendia is going to pick up her first personal 16th foul on Hobbs. The inbound to the right side. Rippey in the backcourt. Trying to move the pressure defense. And we've got a timeout for Coach Frazee and the Rams. He's going to try to move against this trap press that's going on right now. We'll keep it right here. Like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Lady Eagle Hoops, including TDS, Lee County State Bank, A-Tech Air Conditioning, Thriftway Grocery, Gateway Insurance Financial, Forest Tire, Lasco Construction, Devon Energy, Bobby Shaw Realty, First American Bank, and Robinson & Associates. Don't forget on Tuesday night, the Hobbs Lady Eagles will be in Carlsbad for their third district game. Coach Brian Coltrane will have the call for you on that one. And we will have a game at Tasker Arena as well on the sister station, Cole 95.7, as the Hobbs boys take on Carlsbad. So we're in the thick of the district battles. That is the wrapping up the first round of district games, and then they'll have all the other ones after that. So keeping our cancellations. There have been a few in the Lee County area, so keep in touch with the media to find out if there is going to be happening here in the near future. Portales basketball in the backcourt as the inbound comes in to Tegan Faust. Gives it off to Rippey. Back to Faust. Across the far sideline with the pass down to Schillings. Dumps it down to the right block to Davis. A turnaround J out the back of the rim. Rebound for the Lady Eagles by Wisdom Anthony, her third. Comes down the court, throws down the pass to left block, and going up strong is Elise Turbiatas. She is fouled, comes shy of the rim, but she will get a chance for free throws here. Riley Schillings picks up her second, 15th foul. So Turbiatas getting her first opportunity. She has 6 points, shooting 64% this season, but misses her first one there. Hobbs Lady Eagles are 2 of 5 for 40% from the line. Started the game at 53%. Second shot, a high rainbow, nothing but net. Turbiatas now with 7 points. 19-9, the biggest lead of the ball game. Double digits at 10. Inbound to the free throw line of the backcourt to Payton. Pivots and throws it off right side to Davis. Across to Schillings. Throws up a three from the top of the arc. Lost her footing, but they're going to say she was tripped by Brett Clay. So that'll give her a chance for 3 shots on the line as the ball came off the iron. And that will be Brett's first personal, 17th foul. Schillings is 0 for 1. She's the only one that's shot free throws so far and makes her first there. She's got 5 points to lead the Rams. They've only had 3 scores so far. Schillings with 5, 3 for Blakey, and 2 for Rippey. Second shot's a swish. On the Hobbs side of the scoring, 7 for Anthony, 5 for Turbiatas, 2 for Joseph, and 1 for Brett Clay. Schillings makes all 3 of her free throws. 7 points for her now. She is 4 for 5 from the line. 19-12, Hobbs by 7. Here comes Wisdom Anthony off the dribble. She's guarded by Faust at the timeline. Stop and go, crossover, bounce it off her leg, pick it back up, and comes down the right side of the lane, goes high off the glass and puts it through the hole. Wisdom Anthony not giving up on that one. She's got 9 to lead the Lady Eagles. 6 of those points are in the second. 21-12 Hobbs. 50 seconds left in the half. Coming down the lane, jump stop, Rippey, middle of the paint, gets it out to Schillings on the right side, and she'll dribble out towards the timeline. Come back to help is Rippey in front of the Hobbs bench, right side, down to the right corner to Davis. Zings it back to the timeline to Schillings, wants to set up the O. Finds Spouse in the left wing. Threads the needle free throw to Davis. Kick it back to the left side to Gonzalez. Bounce it back to the timeline to Faust. To the left side to Schillings. She'll come up top and then back it out to the timeline with 20 seconds. A long one down to Rippey in the right corner. To the right block, pivoting left, now right. A turnaround J for Davis, an air ball. And on the run after the rebound off the dribbles, Turbiatis, her 5th rebound. Crossover move down the lane, throws up a shot, lost control of it. Tries to get her own rebound. They have a jump ball. Turbiatis now with 6 rebounds. Lost her shot, but did go to the board to get the back. And now the jump ball will go back to Portales. They'll have 6.7 seconds to work with and a 9-point deficit to the Lady Eagles. Coach Carpenter's going to go to his bench and bring in Alexia Fabela for her first action. As taking a seat for Hobbs will be Anaya Joseph. The inbound comes to the far sideline of the backcourt to Rippey, weaving through traffic with 3 seconds. Ball gets knocked out of her hands by Anthony at the timeline as it goes out in front of the Portales bench here on the near side. 1.5 remaining in the second. The inbound from Payton to the half court. Schillings will toss up a half court shot at the buzzer, but it's well short. So the Hobbs Lady Eagles had a lead as big as 10. Right now it's 9 at the end of the first half of action. The score 21-12, Hobbs over Portales. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Lady Eagles halftime show on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear. Ninety seconds. One minute. $30. $15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
We're at halftime here in Portales. The Hobbs Lady Eagles leading by 9 over the Rams, 21-12. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Evie Stuber back at the station. Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half. First for Portales, they've only had 3 scorers so far. Riley Schillings leading the team with 7 points, and she's got 4 or 5 free throw shooting and 1 rebound. Madison Blakely hit a tray for 3 total, 2 rebounds for her, and Terrace Rippey hit a bucket for 2 with 2 rebounds. So that's it for the scoring. They've had a total of 14 rebounds, and their top one is Kylie Payton with 3 so far. Actually, no, she's second. Kinsey Davis has 5, but is yet to score. Already 10 turnovers for Portales. They are 4 for 5 from the free throw line at 80%. After Hobbs Lady Eagles getting close to double digits for Wisdom Anthony. She's got 9 points, 6 of those coming in the second quarter due to 3 buckets. She is also 1 of 2 from the line and has 3 rebounds. Elise Turbiatis right behind her with 7 points. 5 of those coming in the second quarter. She went 1 of 2 from the charity stripe and had 6 rebounds to lead the team. Anaya Joseph hit a bucket for 2. The same for Bryn Hargrove. Joseph, by the way, with 7 rebounds. Brett Clay went 1 of 2 from the charity stripe for 1 point and 3 boards. Bryn Hargrove got in the scoring column with the bucket for 2. And that is your scores for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. They've had 5 so far put some points in. Rebound situation, 23-14. Hobbs at the 23 to lead Portales there. We mentioned 7 for Joseph to lead the squad, 6 for Turbiatis, 4 boards for Clay, and 3 apiece for Anthony and Brett Clay. The Lady Eagles were up 8-7 in the first quarter, and then outscored Portales 13-5 in the second. Their free throw shooting is 3 of 6 for 50%. Foul situation so far, 7 against the Lady Eagles and 5 for the Portales Rams. We're about 5 minutes away from second half action here on the Eagle 100.5 as Hobbs leading over Portales 21-12. The battle of the unbeatens, Hobbs at 5-0 and Portales at 4-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes here on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear. One minute. $30. $15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to halftime as the Hobbs Lady Eagles lead Portales 21-12. You're live on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Now, Tuesday night, the Hobbs Lady Eagles will be at Carlsbad. They currently have a 5-1 record. They are 2-0 in district. Now, they beat Artesia by 1 point earlier this season. Hobbs beat Artesia by 31. They also beat Silver by 11, 44-33. Hobbs beat them last weekend. You remember that game, don't you? 71-5. That was a 66-point victory. A big discrepancy between the win that Hobbs got and Carlsbad got on Silver just by 11. But I think they were missing a starter previous to that with the Hobbs game. But, I mean, in Silver, they had their full squad. So I don't know if that one girl was that big of a scorer or not, though. They beat Lovington earlier this year. 42-point victory in that one. lost to Goddard by 40-27. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles were supposed to play Goddard last week. That game was canceled, but it has been rescheduled for this coming Saturday, a week from today, the 24th. That will be a 7 o'clock start time, so make sure you mark that on your calendars, Hobbs and Goddard. Last couple of games for Carlsbad, they beat Clovis 38-30. That was a game last night. The Hobbs Lady Eagles won by 26 points. So 8 for Carlsbad and 26 for the Lady Eagles. That's definitely a difference there. And then, of course, last night, Roswell, Carlsbad winning 33-30, a 3-point win. Hobbs defeated Roswell by 39. So for all intents and purposes, you would think that the Hobbs Lady Eagles are going to be coasting to a district championship the way it's going right now. But they got to play the game. That's next Tuesday at Carlsbad. Of course, they have a new coach. Coach Zumbert is now with the boys program. So that's added a little bit of a different dimension to what's going on there at Carlsbad. But they are currently 2-0 with those wins against Clovis and Roswell. Again, Hobbs will come in with a 3-0 record after tonight's game. And, of course, we have got one going on right now with the Hobbs Lady Eagles holding on to a 9-point lead, 21-12, as we get ready for third quarter action. And it's going to be Hobbs basketball. At the time stripe will be Jemiah Clay as she inbounds to the backcourt to Wisdom Anthony. And she's got some pressure on her in the backcourt. Tegan Faust with her all the way across the timeline. Gets over to right wing. A shot taken by Clay, and she swishes it through. The first tray of the game for the Lady Eagles. We mentioned last night Hobbs hit 9 against Clovis, 6 of those by Wisdom Anthony, tying a career high for her. And that game last year against Clovis. A long pass down the left baseline to Rippey. Hands it off on the left wing to Davis. 24-12, the biggest lead of the game for Hobbs. Doubling up on Portales. The pass to the free throw line to Davis. Bounce it to the right corner. Over to Faust. Gives it back to the middle of the lane to Davis. Shot on the way off the back of the rim. No good. Long rebound for Anthony, her fourth. Dribbles down the left lane. Tries to bounce pass it back door to her teammate. That was Turbiatis. And it goes out of bounds. Actually, Brett Clay could not track it down. That'll be the 6th turnover for Hobbs. 7:17 remaining here in the third. 24-12 Hobbs. Pass on the far sideline of the backcourt to Davis. Sends it to the timeline. Ball loose, but picked up again for Portales by Faust. Good D by Turbiatis to get a hand on it. She'll bounce it front court to Rippey on the right wing. Dribbles up top. Gets bumped a little bit by the defensive Jemiah Clay. 2-3 zone. Dish to the left wing to Faust. Touch pass left baseline to Payton. Cross court right to Rippey. Dumps it down to the right corner to Schilling. She'll dribble up the far sideline towards the time stripe as Clay will pick her up. One-hand bounce pass to Faust on the top of the arc. Drives the lane. A runner shot off the back of the rim. Put back up on the left glass with 2 hands and count it for Payton. That's her first bucket, 4th rebound. 24-14. Hobbs still by 10. Here comes Wisdom Anthony with the dribble. Her defense at the timeline will be Tegan Faust. Pass down to the right wing to Brett Clay. Returns it up top to Joseph. Coming back to get it is Turbiatis. She finds Anthony on the left wing. A rainbow jumper off the front of the rim. Pulled down in the right corner, though, by Brett Clay. That's her 4th board. Bad pass up top, taken away for Portales by Kinsey Davis for Hobbs' 7th turnover. She'll find teammate Schillings on the left wing. 3 on the way, off the front of the iron. Long rebound for Jemiah Clay, her first board. Ahead to a breaking Brett Clay. She'll lay it in on the right side for 2. Off to the races, Brett Clay. She's got 5 points. 26-14, Hobbs again by 12. Catching the ball on the far side is Schillings. A trap pressure going on, 2-2-1. Dribbling up the far sideline. Schillings will get down the court to Davis, right corner. She'll hold it for a second to get the offense to help her. Jab step. Dribbles towards the timeline and throws a long one back deep to Schillings. Hobbs with an extended 2-3 zone. They back it off now. Schillings will find Faust on the right wing. Throws a hard one down to the right block. Pivoting, trying to get some help is Davis. Turnaround jumper is rejected by Anaya Joseph and picked up for the Lady Eagles by Turbiatis. She'll dribble across the timeline. She'll find Brett Clay on the right wing. Posting up down low is Joseph. Turns and fires. A double team on her. Gets squeezed between. They call the jump balls. They're going to say that getting on top of the basketball is Kylie Payton to get the jump. And the arrow's going to go back to Portales. Still a 12-point Lady Eagle lead with 5:09 remaining third quarter. The inbound to the left corner to Faust. Gets stripped by the Lady Eagles' Brett Clay. It'll roll out to the Hobbs sideline on the near side. It'll go back to Portales. Hobbs getting very tenacious on defense now. A stack in the backcourt for Portales on the inbound as they get it in to Faust. Stop and go to the far sideline, taking on Brett Clay, riding her hip. Into the front court, down the lane right side, goes to the rack. Lays it in for two, and they give her a continuation all the way to the hole. Foul was on the side of her, and she takes it all the way home for the layup. They'll call the foul on Brett Clay, her second, make it first team foul here in the second half. Chance for that three-point play. Shot is up and a swish as getting the three. That was Tegan Faust's first points of the ball game. And the score now 26-17, back to a single-digit deficit for Portales. 4:57 left, third quarter. We're coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagles Network.
You're clear.
Ten. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're back after a timeout. The Hobbs Lady Eagles with the basketball. They lead by 9, 26-17 with 4:50 left, third quarter. Hobbs ball in the front court, pass down to the right corner. Brett Clay with a three shot off the left rim. Pulled down underneath by the big girl Elise Turbiatis. Puts it over the front of the iron and scores. Turbiatis 9 points and 7 rebounds. 28-17, Hobbs again by double digits at 11. The inbound to the left corner for Portales 2. Faust chucks it down the far sideline. Coming down with it is Davis in the front court. Back to Faust at the timeline. To the right corner to Rippey. Bounce pass in the right block. Backing in is Davis. Turns, throws up a J and a spin. No good off the back of the iron. Rebound for Turbiatis. She's got 8 boards. Getting close to a double-double. Cross the timeline to Anthony. Sends it right wing to Clay. Drives to the right corner. Entry pass is knocked right back to her on the right wing. Pivoting, looking for help. 5-second count is on. Bounce pass right elbow to Turbiatis. Goes to the rack hard, right to left. Reverse layup on the left glass and puts it through for 2. Turbiatis now with 11 points. 2 more rebounds and she's got a double-double. Hobbs up by 13, their biggest lead, 30-17. There's a loose ball in the backcourt. Boy, diving on the floor is Brett Clay. She is the most tenacious defender the Lady Eagles have got. She will not give up. She dove on the floor for that one. And now she's going to come out for a breather. Is coming in for her, Brent Hargrove. That will be the Hobbs Lady Eagles ball 2 on the jump. That will be a turnover for Portales. That's their 11th. On the right baseline, inbounding is Anthony. Gets it into the left wing to Brent Hargrove. Back to Anthony left corner. She fakes a 3. Dribbles around the perimeter a little bit, looking for help. One hands it back deep to Hargrove. To the left wing to Turbiatis. A 3 on the way, the side of the rim, no good left side. Underneath the hoop is Jemiah Clay getting on the floor for it, her 6th rebound. Pass to the right base to Hargroves, 15-footer no good. Rebound by Clay, gives it back to her teammate coming down the lane. Anthony misses the scoop shot left, comes off the rim, but there's a crash on the floor and a tie-up. Going to the hardwood that time for the Lady Eagles, Anaya Joseph on the floor with Kylie Payton. Arrow is going to go to the Rams. Inbound in the paint backcourt to Schillings. Sends it across the timeline to Rippey on the far side. 3-on-2. Bounce pass to the right corner to Blakey. Blakey dribbles the right elbow, throws a helium ball up top, pulled down by Schillings. Stop and go to the right wing. Unloads to Rippey. 3 minutes left, third quarter, Hobbs by 13. Cross court left, a dangerous one. Faust is able to come up with it, but then fumbles it forward. And it goes off the hands of Elise Turbiatis, almost getting a steal on that one. Portales will have in the deep left corner on the left side. Right in front of the Portales bench. Schillings will inbound. 2:55 left, third quarter, 30-17 Hobbs. High inbound on the near side, given back to Schillings. The inbounder throws up a 3 and swishes it. Defense backed up just a second. Schillings makes him pay for it. That's her second tray of the game. She's got 10 to lead to Portales, and we got a 10-point lead for Hobbs. Going to the other end on the right wing is Hargrove. Sends it to Turbiatis, free throw line. She posts up and scores with a nice J in the paint. Turbiatis with 6 points in this third quarter. She's got 13 to lead the Lady Eagles, along with those 8 rebounds. 32-20 Hobbs. Coming across the timeline is Faust. To the left wing to Schillings. Top of the arc off the dribble. Wraparound shot with a one-hander shot put off the right side. No good. Pulled down for the Lady Eagles by Turbiatis. 1 rebound away from a double-double. 9 boards. Sends it ahead to Joseph. Goes hard to the rack. Goes up strong on the right side. Is fouled with a push in the back. Counted off the glass. Point-blank range for Joseph. She'll get a chance for a 3-point play. And they're going to call the foul on Blakey. So for Blakey, that will be her first personal. As Joseph now with 6 points. She'll get a chance for the three-point play. Free throws off the front of the rim, no good. Ball loose on the far sideline and coming up with it with a save. Nice job for the Lady Eagles by Hargrove. First, they get it in back door to Joseph, who lays it in for 2. So Joseph picking up 4 points in that series. She's got 8 overall with 7 rebounds. She's almost getting a double-double tonight as well. Hobbs up again by 16, 36-20. 1:50 left third quarter over Portales. Bounce pass in the left wing for Rippey for the Rams. Back deep to Schillings. Sends it to the right side to Faust. Holds the ball for a second against the defensive Hargrove. Bounce pass in the right corner to Blakey. She spins left, back to the right. Bounce pass right side again to Faust. Drives the lane on a runner shot. Ball spins around the hole. They're not going to count that one. They're going to call the foul on the drive. Block foul on Hargrove. That's her first personal, second team foul. Be Portales ball on the far sideline right. Inbound to the timeline to Faust. Zinger down to the left corner to Rippey. Bounce to the left block. Schilling turnaround jumper hits the side of the backboard and rebound for the Lady Eagles in transition. Turbiatis now has her double-double with 10 boards and 13 points. Pass down the lane to Anthony. Reverse layup right off the glass. Kisses it through. Wisdom Anthony with double digits now. 11 points and 4 boards. 38-20. Biggest lead is 18 in this ball game. 1:05 remaining. A steal at the mid-stripe. Taken away by Joseph. Turnover number 12 for Portales. Over to Anthony on the left wing for 3 off the back of the rim. Chased down in the left corner by Hargrove. Her second rebound. Up top to Anthony. Bounce pass. One-hander over to Clay on the right wing. 15-footer off the rim. No good. Pulled down on the right block for Joseph. Her 8th rebound. Sends it to Turbiatis on the right elbow. Fadeaway jumper's no good. Another rebound for Joseph. She's got 9. Sends it up top to Anthony to reset the offense. Very patient O now for Hobbs. Getting things set up perfectly. Nice round of applause for the Hobbs Eagle faithful in attendance. Finds Brett Clay coming down the lane. Leads and shoots and scores off the glass. She took it hard to the rack. Brett Clay now with 8 points, 7 in this third quarter. And Portales calls a timeout with 26 seconds left in the third. Hobbs doubling the Rams 40-20. We're back in 30 seconds on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear. $15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
40-20, the Hobbs Lady Eagles doubling up on Portales. Hobbs scoring 19 points in this third quarter and just 8 for Portales. One of these teams will leave tonight with 1 loss. It's looking like that will be Portales at this point unless they can come back big time. And Coach Carpenter pretty happy about the execution. Kind of started out slow for Hobbs in this ball game, only up 8-7. Offense was kind of getting stale around the perimeter. But as the second quarter progressed, Hobbs outscored Portales 13-5 in the second quarter. And they were up 21-12 at the half. Again, 19 points in this third quarter. Portales will stack in the lane in the backcourt with 26 seconds left in the third. Inbound to the far sideline to Faust. One hands it to the timeline, but it's taken by the Lady Eagles. Coming down the paint, Wisdom Anthony. She pushes off and knocks Tegan Faust to the floor, so they'll call the foul on Anthony. That's her second, third team foul, and the 8 turnover. 8 for Hobbs and 12 turnovers for Portales. Coach Carpenter going to go to the bench, bring in Jemiah Clay, and give Wisdom Anthony a little breather. She's been on the court a long time here in the third. 19 seconds left. Hobbs up 40-20. Ball comes into the far sideline to Rippey. Returns back deep to the baseline to Garcia. To half court to Schillings. Sends it back to the right wing. Rippey to the right corner off the dribble. Spins against Clay. Down the middle of the lane. Gets tripped. Dumps off left baseline. Shot on the way from 15 for Faust. No good. Long rebound on the far sideline for Jemiah Clay. Her 8th board. Tries to shoot as she comes across the timeline and unfortunately drops short for the Lady Eagles. Nice running on that one to try to see if she can put it through for a couple more points. 8 minutes will be left in this ball game as we head to the fourth. Hobbs up 40-20 over Portales. Back in 60 on the Eagle 100.5.
You're clear. $30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
We start the fourth quarter here in Portales. Hobbs up 40-20 over the Rams. Hobbs has 2 double-digit scoring players so far. At least Turbiatis with 13 with a double-double, 10 rebounds. Wisdom Anthony with 11 and 4 boards. Portales 10 for Riley Schillings, 3 for Tegan Faust, and 3 for Madison Blakely. Hobbs rebounding 39 so far, 15 for Portales. They post up. Elise Turbiatis to get this fourth quarter started. She goes up strong and puts it through the glass and the backboard into the hole. 15 points for her. 42-20, the biggest lead now, 22. A steal on the inbound at the timeline for the Lady Eagles, Jemiah Clay. Turnover number 13 for Portales. Right back to Turbiatis, same spot, right block, leans to the hole, misses off the back of the rim, and then a foul on the raft of the rebound. Coming down with the board for Portales was Madison Blakey. That's her 3rd rebound. And Turbiatis picks up only her first foul, 4th on the Lady Eagles. This game has only gone over an hour so far. It hasn't been a lot of foul calls, though. Pretty clean basketball. Pick from behind as Wisdom Anthony came and got the ball away from Schillings towards the mid-stripe for turnover number 14. Anthony at the top of the circle, finds Brett Clay on the right wing. Up top to Turbiatis, setting it down low to Joseph. Turns and fires a shot right near the rim and puts it through for 2. Joseph now with 8 points. 6 of those coming here in the second half, 44-20. Hobbs with their biggest lead now is 24. Into the front court up the far sideline, fumbling it off her own knee was Tegan Faust, out of bounds on the right side for turnover number 15. Things starting to unravel for Portales. Slowing it down is Wisdom Anthony. She comes across against Faust. Gets past her easily down the lane. Runner shot. Nobody picks her up in the middle of the paint. Misses it, but put back up by Turbiatis with 2 hands. Couldn't get it to drop. Her 11th rebound. Loose on the floor. Picked up at the free throw line by Anthony. Her runner shot goes through the hole off the shot put. 13 for Anthony and 5 rebounds. 46-20. Hobbs up by 26, the biggest lead. At the timeline, dribbling with the ball is Blakey. Stop and go through 2 defenders to the free throw line. Jump stop. Puts it up top to Faust. Down to the left corner, holding it for a second is Rippey. Spin move down the left baseline. Bounce pass with one hand to Adrian Garcia from the left wing. 3 on the way. Air ball pulled down on the far sideline by Jemiah Clay for her 9th board. Up ahead to a breaking Elise Turbiatis, a.k.a. the point guard, as she lays it off the left glass. Turbiatis with 17, a double-double tonight. 48-20, biggest lead now, 28. In the front court, ball down to the left corner. Garcia fumbles it to the left block, picked up for Blakey. Over to Schillings on the left wing, dribbles to the free throw line, off her foot, and it rolls out to the far sideline. But they're going to say Coach Frazee got a technical foul. I thought they got him for a timeout, but they teed him up too, and then he claps at the scorer's table. Not sure. The official had some words for him the first time, and I'm not sure. I thought the ref thought he called a timeout, but now he's complaining that his girl was knocked off balance and no foul call, so he does get a tee. That'll be the 5th, or make that the 2nd call or foul against Portales with the technical. So Frazee will have to take a seat for the rest of the ball game, the 5:48 that's remaining, and that will put Anthony on the line. She is 1 of 2 from the charity stripe tonight. And make it 2 of 3 with the swish there. 14 points for Anthony, 17 for Turbiatis, 8 apiece for Brett Clay and Anaya Joseph. Big night for a lot of Lady Eagles. Second shot is up, and it is good. 15 now for Anthony with the 5 boards, and now Hobbs up by 30. We're getting close to mercy rule scoring here. Hobbs will also get the timeline entry pass off the technical call. Inbounding is Anthony. Gets it into Turbiatis. Hands back to Anthony at the timeline. Give and go back to Turbiatis. She lays it in with the left hand. A beautiful setup job that time. She's got 19 points now. Beautiful pass from Anthony. 52-20. Talk about chemistry. 32-point lead for Hobbs. Ball into the front corner on the left wing to Faust. Sends it down to the left corner. Dribbling to the left block. It's Davis. Pass back left wing to Faust. Down the lane. Hippity hop and is rejected on a shot. Are they going to say she traveled first, I believe? And that'll be the 16th turnover for Portales. 52-20. Hobbs up by 32. They're 3 away from mercy rule clock run with 5:15 remaining. Anthony will come across the timeline. Stop and go. Drives down the middle of the paint. Reverse layup right over the rim. No good. Schillings gets the board underneath the hoop. That's her second. And she gets tied up in the paint in the backcourt as Turbiatis is not going to let her go up uncontested. And that'll be a jump ball back to Portales. Coach Carpenter goes to his bench and brings in Bryn Hargrove. You expect to start to see a lot of subs starting to check in here with 5:05 remaining in the fourth. And Hobbs up by 32. Entry pass to the far sideline to Faust. Cross court left to Kent Davis. Tries to get it to half court. Taken away by Wisdom Anthony. Turner number 17. Misses the lefty lap. Loose underneath. And they're going to call the foul. It's coming up with it was Portales. And I think they're going to get Jemiah Clay with the reach that time. That's her third personal, 5th team foul. As the rebound came down for Madison Blakey, her 4th. Full court pressure defense now as Kylie Payton pass to the far right side to Davis. She's getting some trouble with the defense of Anthony. Gets it to the timeline, bringing it across Faust to the free throw line off the dribble. Knocked out from behind by Hargrove and picked up for the Lady Eagles by Turbiatis. Sends it ahead to Anthony with the lefty layup. Gets fouled, lays it in for 2. And a chance for a 3-point play. 17 for Anthony now. And they'll call the foul on Schillings, her third team foul as well. And Anthony back to the stripe. Again, she's got 17 as 3 of 4 from the line. Substitution for the Lady Eagles, Alexia Fabela, as she checks in for Nia Joseph. Don't expect to see her coming back. She's got 8 points and 9 rebounds. Real close to a double-double tonight. As we wait for Wisdom Anthony to cap off a 3-point play. She's made her last couple of free throws here in the fourth quarter. Hits off the front of the rim on this one. Ball loose at the free throw line is picked up by Rippey, her third board. Sends it across to the far side to Blakey. Stop and go dribble, top of the circle. Hippity hop to the free throw line. Gets tied up, but she handed the ball right to Hargrove. And Hargrove obliged her with the jump ball, which turns into a turnover. That'll be turnover number 18, and Coach Frazee calls a timeout for Portales. 4:26 left, fourth quarter. Hobbs up with their biggest lead, 34, 1 away from the mercy roll. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagles Network.
You're clear. Ten. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hobbs Lady Eagles leading by 34 here in the fourth quarter, 54-20 over Portales. They've outscored the Rams 14-0 here in the fourth to pretty much put this game away. Top scorers at this point, Elise Turbiatis with 19, 17 for Wisdom Anthony. Nia Joseph's already checked out probably for the last time tonight. 8 points and 9 rebounds for her. So everything going well for the Lady Eagles. Also 8 for Brett Clay. 4:26 remaining. Hobbs getting ready to make their record 5-0 on the season. As the inbound comes to Anthony in the backcourt, taking her time now to run some clock. Comes across the timeline against Faust. She'll find Fabela on the left wing, dribbles up top. Turbiatis comes to get it, bobbled off her hand for a second, picks it up, comes down the left lane off the dribble, reverse layup, misses the glass, and it's rebounded underneath by Davis for her 6th board. Outlet to the far sideline, bringing it across the line is Blakey. Top of the circle gets a 2-3 Hobbs zone. Over to left corner to Payton. Takes a few dribbles, looking for somebody up top, and chucks it back across the timeline into the backcourt. She tried to get it over to Blakey on the far sideline, but overthrows her for turnover number 19. Unassisted turnover that time. 3:50 remaining here. 54-20. Hobbs 1 point away from the mercy roll clock. Ball comes into Clay at the timeline. Pivots left, then right, and she'll come with the dribble. Backs it out to the timeline. Turbiatis claps her hands, comes back for the ball on the left wing, dumps it back door. Wisdom Anthony misses with 2 hands on the left of the rim, and a tie-up underneath. Battling for the basketball was Hargrove for the Lady Eagles, going toe-to-toe with Madison Blakey right underneath the hoop. And the arrow will go to Portales. 3:36 remaining here in the fourth, a 34-point Hobbs lead. Hobbs kind of backing out towards the timeline on a extended 2-3 zone. Dish to the left sideline to Davis. Touch pass up the court to Faust left as well. Comes to the top of the circle for the dribble. Continues down the right side of the lane. Bounce pass back door and going up strong with 2 hands. Getting fouled from behind. Kylie Payton from the left block. Nice little play that time using the paint work there for Portales. They'll call Alexia Fabela her first, 16th foul. And that'll put on the line Payton, her first opportunity on the stripe tonight, and clinks it off the front of the rim, no good. Back on the court, Joseph is back in the game. I didn't think she'd come back. She steps in for Turbiatis, who's got 19. Probably trying to get Joseph a double-double here. She's 1 rebound and 1 bucket away from that. 8 points, 9 rebounds. Second shot's up and good for Payton when 1 of 2 has 3 points. 54-21. Hobbs by 33. Loading up is Anthony with 3:10 remaining. Comes across with a pass to the left wing to Clay. Clay gets it, goes to the right elbow, pivoting, looking for help. Underhands it up top to Anthony. Spins at the free throw line, backs up, shows up an 18-footer, no good. Put up by Joseph underneath, her 10th rebound, no good, off the rim. And there's Jemiah Clay to clean up in the middle of the paint with a nice J off the glass. So Clay getting her first bucket and her 10th rebound. 56-21. Hobbs got the mercy roll points right now, 35. Top of the circle for Portales. Blakey unloads left wing to Faust, fakes a 3, shot from 18 with the 1-stepper. Misses, put back up on the left glass with 2 hands and put it through for 2. And a chance for a 3-point play after the foul. 5 points and 5 rebounds for Payton as they get Joseph on her second personal, 17th foul. On the court now for the sub, Brett Clay checks in for Jemiah Clay. She got her only bucket of the game just seconds ago. And those 10 rebounds. Payton chance for a 3-point play, bouncing around the rim and good. She's got 6 points and is 2 for 3 from the line. Substitution coming in for Portales. Checking on is the guard Riley Schillings, who leads the team with 10 points. She had to score here in the fourth quarter, though. 56-24. Hobbs by 32. Coming across the timeline is Anthony. Finds Fabela on the left wing. Clock down to 2:20. Up top to Brett Clay. Sends it back left side to Hargrove. Touch pass left side to Fabela. Drives left baseline with the spin. Returns it back over to Hargrove. On the far side. Dribbles up top. Just running some clock here. Patient offense. Coming back to get it is Joseph. Top of the circle. Pivoting now, looking for help. Hand off to Clay. Going from right to left. Make that Anthony. Comes down the pike. Throws up a scoop shot on the right glass. No good. And we got a tie up underneath. Battling forward for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Getting a piece of the ball was Alexia Fabela as she tied up Kinsey Davis. Both of them kind of getting the ball at the same time. Another sub on the court for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, Verdania Vicas Buendia, as she comes in for Wisdom Anthony. She finishes with 17 points and 5 boards. The inbound of the far sideline, breaking the press. Coming across is Faust. Jump stop in the left block. Actually, that was Rippey, and lost the ball out of bounds on the baseline. That's the 20th turnover for Portales. 1:47 remaining in the game, and Hobbs up by 31, 56-24. We'll make it 32. Slowing it down now in the backcourt is Hargrove off the dribble. Pass over to Buendia on the right wing. Up top to Fabela. Sends it left side to Hargrove. Jab step, looking for help. Coming back to get it is Clay, top of the circle. Brett Clay driving the left side of the lane. She scoops it up, and the ball gets knocked out of her hands from behind. Defensive play by Kinsey Davis. Clay thought she had a foul call there, but not going to get it. It'll be Hobbs' ball on the right baseline, inbounding. Bringing it in will be Elizabeth Buendia. Correction, that's Bryn Hargrove. Sends it to the middle of the paint. Double clutch look, but losing the ball is Joseph. Has to track it down on the right wing. Underhands it up top to Hargrove. Back to the right side to Beakus Buendia, top of the circle. Half the dribble, hands it off to Clay. Comes around the right, gives it to Hargrove. Down the paint. High arching layup off the back of the rim, no good. And a pivot after the rebound for Portales by Davis. That's her 7th. 1 minute left. Portales down big by 32. Gets it up court to the right corner and returns back to Schillings on the top of the circle. Gets a 2-3 zone. WNBA 3 off the back of the rim from the top of the arc. Long rebound for Hargrove on the left side. She's got 3 boards. Sends it down the paint to Joseph. Turns around and fires up a shot middle of the paint over the rim. Counted. Joseph now with 10 points and 10 boards. She's got a double-double. 58-24. Hobbs by 34. Clock down to 30 seconds left. Lady Eagles will be 5-0 after this one. On the left wing is Blakey. Cross court right to Rippey. Coming down the lane right side. Double clutch right block is an air ball. Rebound in the left corner by Blakey, her 5th board. She tries to turn and fire from the left baseline from 10 feet. They're going to call body foul on the Lady Eagles. That'll be against Joseph, her 3rd. 8th team foul against Hobbs. And now Coach Carpenter going to his bench. Ariana Aguilar getting her first time on the court as Anaya Joseph takes a seat. Joseph will finish with 10 points. On the line is Blakey, getting her first free throw. Is up and good. She's got 4 total. Hit a tray earlier in this game. Portales has had 3 trays converted in the ball game. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles have gotten 1, and that was from Brett Clay. Second shot is up and a swish for Blakey. She's got 5 points, 2 for 2 on the line. 58-36. 32-point lead with 15 seconds remaining. Pass to the timeline, complete to Fabela. One hands it across with a bounce pass to Clay. On the far side, stop and go. Down to the left corner to Aguilar. Gets double teamed. Ball comes off her knee out of bounds. They call the turnover there for Hobbs. That's only their 9th of the ball game. 20 turnovers for Portales. 2.5 seconds remaining. The inbound is Schilling at the timeline. She'll shoot the half-court shot at the buzzer. Off the glass and no good. The Hobbs Lady Eagles win a big one tonight, 58-26. 32-point victory over Portales. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with more of the Hobbs Lady Eagles postgame show on the Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear. Two minutes. Are you going to take another timeout after this?
No.
Okay. One minute. 30. $15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Big time win over Portales, 58-26, a 32-point victory to go to 5-0 on the season. The first loss of the season for Portales, now at 4-1. Let's take a look at the scoring. First of all, for Portales, Riley Schilling's the top scorer, although she didn't get any in the fourth quarter. She finished with 10 and was 3 of 4 from the line for 75%, also 2 rebounds. Kylie Payton finishing with 6, 2 for 3 from the stripe. She had 5 boards. 5 for Madison Blakey, 2 for 2 on the line and 5 rebounds. Tegan Faust had 3 points, 1 for 1 from the line and a board. And Terrace Rippey hit a bucket for 2 points and 3 rebounds. A total of 5 people in the scorebook for the Portales Rams. Kinsey Davis was the leader in boards, although she didn't score. She had 7 boards and 5 apiece for Blakey and Payton. The Portales Rams were out-rebounded by the Lady Eagles, 43-23, a 20 differential there. Free throw opportunities for Portales, they were 9 of 11. That was a bright spot for them for 81%, but they did have 20 turnovers. On the side of the Hobbs Lady Eagles coin, they had 3 in double digits, 19 for Elise Turbiatis. That was a double-double with 11 rebounds. She was 1 of 2 from the line. She had 5 in the first quarter, and then 6 points in the third quarter and 6 in the fourth quarter. 17 for Wisdom Anthony. She went a total on the free throw line tonight of 3 of 5 for 60% and had 5 rebounds. Another big game for her. And Anaya Joseph finishing up with a double-double. Just barely late in the game, she got her last bucket, 10 points and 10 rebounds. She was 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Also adding points to the scoreboard, Brett Clay. She had a great game defensively as well. She had 8 points, including a 3-pointer, 1 of 2 from the line, and 4 rebounds. Jemiah Clay got in the scorebook with a bucket for 2 points. More importantly for her, though, 10 rebounds, and was one of the top. Bryn Hargrove came off the bench for a bucket. Rebounds for her, too. And that pretty much wraps up the scoring for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. They had 6 in the books tonight. And again, we mentioned the rebounding situation, 43 for Hobbs and 23 for Portales. The Lady Eagles were led with 11 for Turbiatis on the glass, 10 apiece for Anaya Joseph and Jemiah Clay. Should also mention, too, 5 for Wisdom Anthony, 4 for Brett Clay, and 3 for Brent Hargrove. The Lady Eagles, not a lot of opportunities on the line, but they didn't need it very much on the free throws. 5 of 10 for 50%, and they only had 9 turnovers compared to 20 for the Portales Lady Rams. Lady Eagles were up 8-7 in the first quarter, outscored Portales 13-5 in the second. We're up by 21-12 at halftime. Outscored Portales 19-8 in the third quarter and 18-6. At one point, it was 13-0 in the fourth quarter, and again, 12 points better in that finale. So 58-26, the final. Lady Eagles winning this one by 32. So Hobbs now 5-0 on the season, still 2-0 in district, but they will have a district game on Tuesday. So head to Carlsbad. The Cave Girls are 5-1 overall, 2-0 in district, coming off wins over Clovis, 38-30, and Roswell, 33-30. Now that's some good wins there for Carlsbad, but you had to compare those scores to what the Hobbs Lady Eagles got against those teams. Clovis, they beat by 26. Again, Carlsbad only beat Clovis by 8, and Lady Eagles beat Roswell by 39. Carlsbad only beat Roswell by 3. So if you just look on numbers on paper, that's going to tell you this should be a big win for the Lady Eagles. But new coach, Coach Zumber, not there anymore. Of course, he used to be an assistant with the Hobbs Lady Eagles program, but he's moved on to the boys team, so a little bit of a different situation there than what they've had in the last couple of years. So Hobbs definitely wants to keep on a roll, get that third win in district, and run their record to 6-0 after that game on Tuesday. Coach Brian Coltrane will be with you on the action on that coming up Tuesday night around 6:50 with the pregame show. Also on Tuesday night, the Hobbs boys back in action. They'll host Carlsbad, and the Cavemen just barely lost an overtime game against Roswell High last night, actually. So they're going to be itching for a win. I believe they are 0-2 so far in district. So Got a good basketball coming up on Tuesday night. Of course, the girls' game will be right here on 100.5, the Eagle. And then the boys' game will be on our sister station, Cool 95.7. That about wraps it up here from Portales. Thanks to our sponsors of Lady Eagles basketball this season, TDS, Lee County State Bank, 8-Tech Air Conditioning, Thriftway Grocery, Forest Tire, Gateway Insurance Financial, Lasco Construction, Devon Energy, Bobby Shaw Realty, First American Bank, and Robinson & Associates. Again, the final score tonight, the Hobbs Lady Eagles winning by 32, 58-26 over Portales. Thanks to Ron Gunner on the filming up for Facebook and YouTube. Also, thanks back to the station to Evie and Tiffany Stuber. I'm Ty Fred. Have a great rest of the weekend out there, and we'll see you on Tuesday either in Carlsbad or at Tasker Arena.
You're clear.